well, students, today we are going to talk about what are stop losses and how do you use them. Before we get started, here's a little bit about myself. My name is Adeze Duncan, representing iMarkets Live. Some of you may know me from Forex 101 on IML TV. Also, I was an educator for 10 years, and now I'm here educating you on the facts and methods of Forex. In order to get started on this journey, you need to remember one thing and one thing only. I am a student, always. This is very important for you to remember and to remind yourself of often. You will hear me use this phrase frequently as a reminder that you are a student that is learning a skill that will pay you for the rest of your life. Make sure that you take your time and learn what you need to learn. Pace yourself. Do not compare yourself to anyone else's progress. Always keep a winning mind frame and you will do very well in this industry. Upon finishing this video, you should have a very good understanding of the following questions. Read through them quietly to yourself. As you are taking notes, make sure to pause this video in order to answer these questions. Here is some important vocabulary that you may want to pause the video in order to write down. When you are finished, go ahead and resume. A stop loss is a safety net. It's a safety net for your account balance. If you decide to trade without a stop loss, it would be like you deciding to jump without a bungee cord, pretty much doing something else that starts with an S. Okay? So you absolutely need a stop loss. Too many people say, oh, well, I don't need a stop loss. I got a little strategy. You see, whenever I use those stop losses, I just keep getting hit. Well, that's actually a good thing. Maybe you didn't realize that. I mean, and if your stop loss keeps getting hit, then perhaps you're doing something wrong and you need to change things. But the fact that your account is getting hit by that stop loss is actually saving your account from getting blown. So please don't think that trading without a stop loss is a strategy. It's also called something else that starts with an S. Stupid. I'm sorry. Anyhow, so what I'm saying to you guys is make sure you use your stop loss. Trading without one is not trading good or trading smart. It is gambling, pretty much. In fact, why would you give up your power? This is the one thing you get to control in the entire market. There's nothing else you can control. Your stop loss gives you the opportunity to control how much money you are willing to lose. Without it, what you're saying is, hey, market, you know what? I trust you. You tell me how far you can go. You tell me what limits to push. Someone actually said this best. It's like pretty much trusting your house. Having a thief guard your house is like trading without a stop loss. So absolutely trade with a stop loss. So I kind of already talked about this already. Why should you use a stop loss? If a trade goes the wrong direction, your stop loss will stop the order after a certain price limit has been reached. It is very important in risk management. With no stop loss, you have no risk management. All right? Your stop loss will take you out in the event that you fall asleep on a trade. I don't know if anybody else out there has done it. I know I've done it. I have fallen asleep and I woke up and my trade was gone. Thank goodness I didn't wake up and have to deal with it being crazy negative. And then what are you doing? Oh, it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around eventually. No, it's not going to turn around, or most likely it won't turn around for a while. Remember, if a trade is trending and is going down, it's only going to go further. That's why we have stop losses, guys. So how do you calculate a stop loss? The same way you calculate pips. If you don't remember how to calculate pips or you don't know how to, please go back to the video that talks about how do you calculate pips. All right. So calculating stop loss, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about how to do it because it really is calculating pips, but just know this. If your trade is going down, say you want to place a sell order, you're expecting the market to go down, then that means you need to place your stop loss above. Why? Because you want the trade to go downward. If you're doing a sell, you don't want it to go upward. But in the event that the trade keeps on going opposite of what you placed, it will take you out. It will take you out. That's what stop losses are for. The same is true for a buy. In the event that you expect the market to go up, then your stop loss should go down. Just keep this in mind. They're always inversely correlated. Always inversely correlated. So that means in the event that price is, if you want it to go up, stop losses go down. If you want it to go down, stop losses go up. Simple. In this right here, to calculate your stop loss, and look, after going through and understanding how many pips is necessary, down the line, we'll talk to you more about risk management. You'll have a better understanding of risk management, because that's actually the most important part of trading, is having a really good risk management plan. But in the event that, let's say you know that, hey, my account can only handle 50 pips, I will only take any trade that is 50 pips and under. Then that means when you're eyeballing a trade, you need to make sure that the stop loss that you set is 50 pips or less. How do you do that? Let's say you want to get in where the green dotted line is. Now you just calculate 50 pips from that direction. So if you're expecting the market to go up from that green dotted line, then you need to calculate from your entry. Remember, which is the green dotted line. You need to calculate your entry 50 pips below it. Okay, so let's say you got in at 100.00. That's really easy. And you know that, well, I want my stop loss to be 50 pips below that. Well, then your stop loss should be 100.50. Does that make sense? Okay. Why? Remember, in this situation, this was going to be a buy, so your stop loss should be below. So on a sell, guys, it's going to be very similar to what you saw in the buy. Remember, in a sell, you're expecting price to go down. So that means your stop loss should go above. So let's say that green dotted line was at 104.50. All right. Let's pretend it was at 104.50. Ignore all those numbers on the side. Let's just pretend. Are you getting me? Pretend the green line you entered on 104.50. Let's say you wanted to have a 50 pip risk. That means your stop loss should be set to 105.00. Why? Because we just added to our entry. Why did we add to our entry? Because remember, it has to be above our entry. So that's why we're adding. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, replay that part. Okay? By now, you should have a good understanding of the following questions. Read them quietly to yourself, and when you are finished, go on to the next video in this series. Thank you so much. My name is Adeze Duncan, and remember, I am a student always.